Welcome to Adventure Life with Bob. Today's adventure is a great one. It's called, we're at Valley of the Fire State Park in Nevada. It's about 40-50 miles north out of Las Vegas. And it's a great place. We've already seen some bighorn sheep, which we'll show you pictures of in a bit. And it's really quite spectacular and beautiful. And the weather, I think the temperature is only supposed to get up around 95, 96, so it's not going to be super hot, but we always carry plenty of water. About the only negative thing I can say so far about this place is we got here at sunrise. And of course we had to do the self-pay because no one's at the gate, but there were no maps. So we came in, did a little sightseeing, did a little photography, found the visitor center, walked to it. It doesn't open till 9, and there's no maps outside. And so, what a wonderful and beautiful place, but they don't give you any information of where anything is. Fortunately, we printed up a map. It's in black and white, but it's better than nothing. And so, other than that little hiccup, this place is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So come along and we'll show you what we see. Getting to the Valley of Fire is very easy coming from Las Vegas. Just heading north on I-15 for about 55 miles. There's plenty of signs that show you where to get off. And so you shouldn't have any problems finding it. There's a gas station as you pull off the freeway. If you need to top off your gas tank, this is a great place to do it. It's run by the local reservation, and it's a convenient place to get some fuel. You'll drive about 18 miles before you get to the entrance. We got there early. The gate no one was in attendance, so you pull off to the side and you do the self-pay using the envelopes. It's I believe it was $10 if you're a Nevada resident, or $15 if you're not a Nevada resident. So make sure you bring correct change. I think there's also a credit card machine there, but I didn't try that out. The park itself is open from sunrise to sunset, and unless you're camping there, if they catch you there after dark, they can give you a ticket, so be careful about that. Probably less than a mile after we got in the park, there was a gravel road that took off to the left. I think it said something about scenic view or campground, and just out of the blue I decided to take it, and boy am I glad I did, because you'll notice off to the right there's a whole bunch of desert bighorn sheep that we ran into, and I've got some great photos of them, as you can see here. Probably the most rams I've seen in one place, and a lot of them were almost full curl. Our first stop was at Atlatl Rock. Prehistoric people like the Anasazi would come into this valley to hunt bighorn sheep, to gather food, and perform religious ceremonies. They left their mark, literally, on these petroglyphs, which could be found throughout the park. Some of the best preserved ones are on Atlatl Rock. You will climb this metal stairway to get a bird's eye view of them. There is also restrooms and picnic facilities at the location. And the word Atlatl is a Aztec word which basically means to throw a spear or a dart. And it's not the spear or dart itself, it's a stick that they use to act as a lever to throw that spear or those arrows or darts quicker. I'll put a picture here real quick. These ancients did not have a written language, so these petroglyphs are just representations of what they were thinking or experiencing, so it's kind of fun to try and interpret. The trail we're on right now is called Mouse Tank or Mouse's Tank. I'm not quite sure what that means because we don't have a map, but I think I saw a video where it talked about there's a place used to collect water, and animals, including mice, would go there to drink. So it's about a half mile, so we'll go see what it's like. Well, we found we've got to the end of the trail, found the Mouse's Tank, which is kind of a deep little ravine, or it's not really a ravine, but a water pocket that's been carved into the sandstone. And it did have some water in it. There's been recent rain, and I guess mice and anybody else that has good traction can get down there and get some water. This trail is very scenic and worth the effort of hiking. My next hike was Rainbow Vista. This was a fun hike. It's about 2 miles and takes you through some just absolutely beautiful country with interesting rock formations along the way. The great thing about this one, at least what's happened to me, was I met some very interesting people. I met a couple from Germany. I met one from Australia. And at the very end, when I get to the overlook of Fire Canyon, I met 4 people who were from Switzerland. I hiked part of the way back with them. So this is just a real beautiful hike. And it's pretty easy. While you're watching the video of me hiking to Fire Canyon Overlook, let me tell you a little bit about the Valley of Fire State Park. It's a public recreation and natural preservation area that covers 46,000 acres. It gets its name from the red sandstone formations, the Aztec sandstone, which is formed from shifting sand dunes 150 million years ago. These features, which are the centerpiece of the park's attractions, often appear to be on fire when reflecting the sun rays, particularly at sunrise and sunset. When you're hiking, always make sure you have plenty of water. Summertime temperatures in the Valley of Fire can get as high as 115, 120 degrees. Not an ideal place to hike during the middle of the day. During the winter time, it ranges from freezing to 75 degrees. And so you always need to be prepared and realize this is wild country. And not a lot of stuff. In fact, I don't think there's very little self-service there, so you need to be very self-sufficient as you hike out on those trails. And here are my new friends that I met from Switzerland as they enjoyed the view of Fire Canyon. And as you see some of these pictures, you'll see that it's just absolutely spectacular. One of the hikes that I was really looking forward to doing was the White Dome trail and area. It's got some fascinating places. They filmed several movies there, part of Viva Las Vegas with Elvis Presley, The Professional with Burt Lancaster and Lee Marvin. There's some parts from Total Recall, Star Trek Generations, and plus just some incredible rock formations. But as I was getting closer and I was started seeing more and more traffic, and then I started seeing tour buses. And as you can see, as we pull into the parking lot here, and there's a bus behind me, the parking lot is pretty full, and there is already a bus there. And as I drive through the loop, look off to the right, and you'll just see hordes of people climbing all over the rock. And so this is a place I'm going to have to come back to, because the last thing I was interested in is walking around with tons of people on that rock. So what I did is I turned that around, went back, and then just kind of spent a few minutes here on the back side, maybe about 3/4 to a mile on the back side of it, just walking through some of the White Dome area. After the federal government transferred this land to the state of Nevada for a state park, the Civilian Conservation Corps, the CCC, from 1933 to the early 1940s, built campgrounds, stone cabins like these two cabins here, and roads. The park officially opened in 1934 and was designated the Valley of Fire State Park in 1935. So here's just some remnant of some of the work that the CCC did as they built the park. The last thing I really wanted to see before I left the park was a formation called Elephant Rock. It is just before you leave the park, and you can see the road there on the left, and it's like 0.2 miles from where the parking lot is up this little road, and then you see Elephant Rock. Well, we spent about 5.5 hours in the park. We'd love to have spent the whole day. Probably need to time it a little bit better so that I'm there at off season and don't have to deal with so many tourists. But this is a fabulous place. It was well worth my time. I look forward to going back and seeing the things that I missed. And highly recommend that you take some time and visit this place. If you get a chance, if you like this video, hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel, Adventure Life with Bob. And thank you for watching.